The shows were very similarly produced. I mean, it was this live, multi-camera tape world that was pretty new then. There was, at the time, you had live film shows like Mary Tyler Moore and those kind of things, but videotape was pretty new kind of a world, because it looked, in those days when you watched a videotape show, videotape looked like you were watching the news. It looked like you were live. It was a live thing, and it didn't have the kind of patina that a film show had. It looked like, as I say, it looked like you were just watching the news, and it was a live performance. It was very, very theatrical, because you really felt like you were there watching this thing going on, and you had an audience, but the audience was not a new idea. I mean, that went back to Lucille Ball and I Love Lucy. So it had been around for a little while, but they were very kind of cutting edge. Subject matter, obviously, All in the Family was extremely cutting edge. I mean, they dealt with issues that nobody, before that we'd gotten a steady diet of Leave It to Beaver, which didn't deal with much more than a kid's bicycle getting stolen, or something. That was like a big deal. But here we, all of a sudden we were dealing with very critical social issues, and so it was not only important in the aspect of the style in which it was done, but socially it was important. And that kind of continued on in my career with Carsey Werner, because it was interesting the other day when I was with a couple who were from South Africa. One was a director and his wife, and they kind of the wife said to me, do you really know what kind of influence the Cosby Show had on South Africa? And I said, no, I really didn't. She said it had an enormous social effect on that country, because they didn't think that black people could live that way. And so, it's interesting how many of the shows that I've worked on have had some very interesting, Roseanne and all those had very interesting social implications that people would look at and kind of change their perception of the way they viewed the world. Those shows had far-reaching implications. I don't know if that's so true anymore, but certainly in those days it did.